bring everybody up to speed. Is this visible to all with the black background or white better?
It's good.
All right.
It's good.
No, so just looking now, right? So I would say I'm not surprised where we are right now. I'm pretty sure we're going to be tapping this, right? So they have a liquidity to grab. I think it was 66 or something like that. Maybe they're about to do that right now as we speak. They came here, right? They're going to hold. The key is, are they going to break this? I would say 3-month balance that we're in right now. So this is the value area low of the lowest month. If you do grab multiples, right, you can find some SIGs around here in this area, right? But for right now, this is the crucial level, the 43.50. And then you guys know that we had that little contract switch, June to July. I'd be aware of this just for your purpose of trading tomorrow. Be aware of this level, right? There's a high chance they can fill it, man. I know around 43.20 if you guys just zoom out a little bit. There's some action here as well. Like in terms of POCs, I think there's a little bit of correlation in that, right? And we'll go back and check on the weeklies, but for right now, it looks like we're just probably gonna test this June value area low. I would not be shocked if they dip below this and then come back and try to reclaim it, right? We are aware of that. There's some major levels here, right? 41.37, and you guys know that 41.40 level should be kind of in your head by now. That's probably the next level that they're targeting. And why I say that is if you just go here and kind of go on a 3-day chart, right? And just zoom out a little bit, right? And then just grab the FVP from the bottom to the top. Here's what we got, right? So you're looking at that level very closely here. So you have the value area high right here. I'll probably have this, drawn up at 44. What is this? 26.5. Mark that level, and this is your run up value area high. Why is this level important?
Acceptance outside or not.
Yeah, either we're gonna say, hey, we want to defend this right here, which is a huge level, or if they fall inside, you're not gonna get a clear shot, right? So it usually doesn't work like, hey, we got in, we're gonna do this. Does this happen? Yeah, we just need something major to happen news-wise, or some kind of credit crisis to go really, really hardcore. But what it does indicate is if you do get inside here, and let's say you're stuck here, and then you crack below this, it really increases the chance that you're going to come here to the bottom, which is 36.80. And I guess we haven't been there since, October? Considering everything the economy's been through, and as you guys know, I'm a strong believer that employment is a lagging indicator. It's the last thing in the dominoes that basically falls. They try to keep you, employed as much as they can, but the companies really didn't fire excess. If you think about 2022 and 23, I think all the firings that they had, and I'm telling you this from experience, was because of the overhiring during the COVID. So now they got rid of the access. Now it's important to notice, hey, are you guys going to be firing a lot more people here? And I think employment is going to catch up here shortly. If you guys just look at these trend lines, right? So there's a high possibility that they might be coming here, right? And we might pump. I am under the impression that we're not going to break this just yet. I expected the August value area low. I don't think they're going to break this at the moment. A lot of people are just now starting to turn bearish. They were bullish at the top. They're bearish at the bottom, and you know how that works out. I'm giving you heads up that I'm slowly turning ties here to look to see any indication. I'll show you. There is some indication that we're going to bounce tomorrow. Okay. But I'll get there shortly. So just bigger picture, right? I mean, we are in the channel here. I would say you've been consolidating here almost at all-time highs. You went back. You haven't really been down. When you think about the market, hasn't really taken a beating yet. You're down. At one point, you were down less than 3%. Would anyone believe that? If I told you don't have charts, 2020, I'd tell you, hey, we had pandemic, world pandemic. You tell them there's interest rate crisis. You tell them there's an inflation. I would say hyperinflation. Then you tell them there's stagflation. Would anyone expect that the stock market is down 3%? I don't know. Ask some of the friends that don't trade stocks or don't look at it and see how they respond. It's not very logical, but the market's not logical. And as a day trader, you don't care, right? As an investor, do I care? Yeah. I'm still not in my positions, right? I'm still short market overall, but I'm not looking to see, to buy something long term here for myself or for my family at all. Meaning, all of my investments, like whether it's 401k, Roth IRA, I'm still on the sidelines with a lot of cash. And people might say, hey, but you missed this run. No, I didn't miss the run. I took my money. I made money. I took the money. And some I got, I'm back in on some of the short positions. I have some SQQ positions, but I'm overall bearish, and it might be wrong, right? And if certain levels break, if you're able to make higher high here and clear this up, will I get out? Yeah, of course. I'll take my hit and stop it. But for right now, I still think we have a little bit more downside overall, but I think we get a bounce here on this bracket. So if you guys think about this weekly here, this the white line here that I'll make yellow here, this is your bracket. So if you even go on the monthly chart, this is the bottom here. This is the bottom of this. So you really have to break this to do what? What happens if you break the bottom here?
Search value outside bracket.
Well, outside of bracket, but that would be lower high and lower low, right? So here you had lower high, lower low, and you quickly brought back inside above this 4411, and you never really, you never went back, right? So, and then you pumped, you probably came half this body candle, and now you're going, potentially, if you break this level here, you're going to be lower high, lower low, and that would be, we haven't done that in a while, right? So you have a higher high, higher low, lower high, higher low, higher high, higher low. You really haven't had this. So this would be the first time since October that this happens, right? So it's been a while. So just pay attention to this yellow line. It should tell you a lot tomorrow, and that's June value area low as well. So that's bigger picture. Then I would look at the weeklies and see if there's any, VPOCs that you're not aware of, right? Especially on the on this level of the weeklies, I would zoom out a little bit and see, what's coming up here, and you have to turn on the PVP. Okay, and there's a handful of levels here. Hopefully you guys have this one. Wow, look at this level here. 4130. That level is crucial. Holy moly, look at that. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, literally lined up. So that's all I see in terms of POCs here. I would expect that we bounce at this level. And the reason why I say that is they could trap a lot of people. I'm under the impression that they might clear this 4350 and quickly reclaim it. I'll show you guys why just on a bigger scale. Let me go in 8 hours. Okay. So this is this our 2022 value area high as well? Does anyone have it by any chance?
4222.
This one comes out to, yeah.
42, 20, 50 for
There's
2022 value area high.
Wait, I haven't heard your voice in a minute.
I know, I've been hiding.
I see that, man. I see that. So this is gonna be crucial level this year, 2022 value area high as well. So, I mean, this is a big level, right? I mean, if they're able to hold this, that's great. You know, this level, they cracked here. So this is 2023. We'll just mark this. Dev value area high. Right at 40. Do you guys recall this level from today? It's the exact level. That's why I'm laughing. Does anyone remember when I was trading live? Nobody? 43.97 and 3/4. Well, it got hit quite a bit today. We have a gap. Let's see. I'm pretty sure we're gonna bounce. Okay. So that's all levels for the upside here. I'm just gonna go see. I'm sorry, downside. I want to see if I have any VPOCs here above. Yeah, there's a handful. So just think now, if you guys look at this consolidation here, what's the ideal entry if they, let's say they recover from here? Where would you look to short for a long swinger?
$25.25.
Yeah, be about
45,
45, 15
15.
would be. This is the level that's your, you know, I call this the entry, you know, for longer swing puts. And I would say lately they worked pretty well on a lot of them. When you give it time like this. Because you have 3 weeks consolidating the POCs there, and then, you know, you would probably just mark around it.
Shorty, the way we keep like not making higher highs, it's lower highs. You think
Mhm.
we'd be a bit short of that? Because you notice how each one of those little highs was a little bit lower.
Yeah,
that,
I didn't include
diagram?
this one right here, and you know, this is a VPOC here as well. So would I wait till 15? I'd probably start entering somewhere around here, right? Slowly, right? 15 points on a couple of months wouldn't hurt, but 1 or 2% on my puts. So this is a VPOC, right? That just means weekly. But yeah, no, I agree. I mean, if they're going lower high, and who's to say that they, you know, they wouldn't do this, just clear this high, clear the liquidity, and then come in here, which would be a good scenario as well. But I wouldn't stress too much on the longer term puts here at this level. And man, this level here was crucial as well, 44.70. So now let's see what they got. Man, they really got to reclaim this area here. 43.81. So if we want to see any relief, right, you got to clear this. Ideally, they got to go over 4407. Man, I keep mixing my head 4507 and 4407. I don't know why. I can't even explain it to you guys. It's just somehow it's confusing to me. And that's being dyslexic. And then this level here, they cannot lose. All right, well, let's see in the month. I think I can imagine what the daily looks like. Yeah, well, that was a late drop here. So if this is true, the late drop right here. Yeah. You see they have this shelf here. Yeah, they have this decent shelf here with the like a secret supply. I really would not want to go long till we clear this. So this is my level, you know, ideally. Hello. Somebody was on. If they clear this, you know, this area. If we do clear this area right here, you know, I would watch for, you know, some higher highs to form, and then getting inside PD value area low will be super important. You really don't have a, unless you're playing the bottom ticks and catching this, you're not really trying to do that. but your bias turns a little bit above 43.87. Does that make sense? You're not trying to predict this. You're trying to get confirmation from the bulls. There's some single prints here. There's some single prints here as well. And then you have a node here. This node's going to be dangerous but it didn't result in a shape that I was thinking it would be in. Did anyone think this is the shape of the profile considering the dump today?
Not at all.
I didn't.
No,
I didn't
not at
expect
all.
it.
More of a B, lowercase b or something. Or
It was a
actually,
late
no,
spike down, so
hard to say,
that's
yeah.
what needs to be confirmed.
Yeah, this late spike here, something tells me something doesn't add up. It just doesn't make sense why it looks like this. This could be a trap here for the shorts. Yeah, we're gonna mark this sucker here. Yeah, there's a lot of skinny bellies here. That big one here. Okay. So for me, if we continue, right, I just don't have a lot of meat to short here. So I'm not really interested in shorting until we see this break here. Is there a possibility that you can, short between here intraday? Yeah, I mean, the price is going to develop. It's going to give you information. But for me to tell you right now, yeah, break the low here. Let's say, where's the PDL, right? Wherever that is, let's say you break this low. Am I interested? Is there 15 points to be made? But at the same time, you can catch, a quick reversal here as well. So I'm not really interested in shorting this as we're very, very close to that area. And then when you go, and let's say you draw, FVP from, let's say, the entrance right here to here, and you change this bad boy to, let's say, 95, and we'll change this to something like orange so you can see it. Is this 95? 95, yep. Look, where's the second sig right now? Yeah, I think there's a bounce coming tomorrow.
Shorty, the looks like we have single prints there at the bottom where we actually today have dropped below, actually this afternoon, I should say, below today's trading zone.
I'm not sure I follow. Can you?
There's like a couple points for this time period, this current session that we're in right this split second.
Yep.
That we've actually dipped below yesterday's session. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay.
It's literally
we
like
dipped a little bit. Yeah.
half a point or something.
I'm actually really bullish right now, especially if you reclaim 74. Just FYI.
I guess I was wondering. I mean, if if you're seeing volume on your footprints enough that would justify that the bottom's in on that for this day.
We'll check.
For overnight,
I'll tell you
what you think.
the bottom is in. So I'll tell you why. All right, well, let's take a look at it. We'll start with, what is this? This is NQ. What do you guys see? That's odd.
Positive delta.
All this dump, right? I mean, all of this dump right here, zero, pretty much nobody able to catch it. Volume comes in here, and look, you're reclaiming this level here. You have a green delta on the volume increase. And if you look here, we of course, we broke the lows here, but this is not a confirmation you want to see on the downside. I'm actually, like I said, I'm bullish.
I can see that. Yeah, makes sense.
And we'll let others be short. I think we're gonna be looking for longs tomorrow. So let's look at this one. This one is a different story. For some reason I'm lagging here. Let me turn off this. Okay. So this one here, right? I mean, this is a pretty bearish setup right here. So I would pay attention. Let me just change this a little bit here because I don't. Okay, so now we're able to tell kind of where's the aggression, right? If you guys see, they tried to call the bottom here, and you guys see where the bottom here is. This low line is indicating the value area low of this candle, which is 43.87. And if you go back, what level is, it's also our PD value area low on the regular chart. So if you're able to reclaim that, and let's just kind of go back here, you're going to be going with some buyers, and that means you took out these sellers. So the first instinct here, is if we come in this range that we take a short. This is a really nice increase in volume on ES to dump. I mean, this delta, if I remember, the highest one we had was 45,000 in the last contract. And this one here is pretty heavy, right? I mean, 29,000, 1.9 increase. And you think about this, it's like 30% increase in volume. So I would say it's a significant chunk on ES, but NQ is looking stronger, right? I showed you guys that there's a potential for a bounce here. And when you look at these nodes, look, we're kind of knocking on the doors as we speak here on NQ. If you're able to crack this over, I would say, go over this level, and then we'll kind of do the same thing here just to make sure I'm not missing. I usually put this one on 6. So we are at the most crucial point for NQ, and this might be an overnight thing that they do. What do you expect them to do here? I would expect that they're going to reject here. They do have a failed auction so far at the top here on the daily, right? We'll check on 30 minutes just to make sure we're not missing something. So completed auction here, completed auction. So this guy here is pretty aggressive, and you guys see that we haven't really, all the auctions ended before this right here. I can circle it probably. You see these periods here, completed auction, completed auction, completed. And on each one of these, what happened? Look at the imbalances at the top. You guys see it?
Big resistance.
They're selling every
Yep.
time we coming to the top. This guy that sold off from here, he's defending this position. But if you're able to crack this guy right here, you could potentially run, I would say, all the way to 4,900 here. So that's about 38 points. And I don't know anybody that would say no, 39 points overnight. Okay, so I'd watch this. Something's odd on NQ. On ES, if you guys look, since we're very close to the the weekend, this is the weekly profile here, and everything's at the top as we see it here. But there's some high volume nodes here. You guys see 4450, and I can show you different ways this, but there's a lot of volume cluster. And if you guys remember that area of 4,500, like here all the way to about 4515 was like a really no trade zone for me. I didn't like trading in there because there's a lot of volume, but then again, you see here that these sellers are gonna be just as active as the ones on NQ. So I would pay attention to these guys right here. Let's see, they're on 30 minutes. I'm just gonna lower that cluster a little bit here. I mean, there's some serious buyers like right now after hours. But let's see, are they able to take this dude out or not? So we need them to auction higher than this box right here. And you could potentially catch some calls. The first instinct is a short. They have a completed auction with the failed. So they cleaned this here up. They're probably, they cleaned this one up. This one's remaining, and this is where it gets a little tricky for them. Right, and you see this delta here is negative 6,000. So this guy at 43.75, he's gonna be, I would think he's gonna be pretty aggressive. Excuse me, even this guy here is reacting right now. And I would think this is usually typically how it works. There's a seller here and then they let him go in, then they sold off. And now let's see if this guy gets absorbed like by aggressive buyers, then I say lines up with the thesis that we're going to bounce here, but I would say first instinct is potentially a short. Let's see what they do. Okay. But this was a really good also. If they come back here, this is a dangerous level. And you guys see that 85, 87 level here is massive volume. And that's where our PD value area low is as well. So it's going to be a big fight at that level. And we're knocking on 2 sig as we speak here. So I would expect a small pullback here.
Can you show that delta POC chart as well?
Delta POC, which one?
Delta on price where it shows the highest delta.
Oh, on the right, like this. This or something else?
Yes, thank you.
Yep. So, I mean, you have 43.80, 85. This is between these levels. The way I play this is if you're able to absorb these sellers here, like for instance, now you see that there's some sellers right here, and I can increase this if you guys can see it. So now you're able to see, right? This is a decent delta, right? 2 rows, that's about 22. You know, call it almost 3,000 delta, which should be somewhere around here, right? So it's pretty thick wall here, and they just completed an auction. So if you wanted to short this, not a bad short for a scalp. I really think they could potentially go all the way to 43.70 or even come back and visit the 67 for the night. Make sure that these guys are being honest here, okay? But now when you zoom out, look at the delta here. I'll go a little bit higher time frame. I like 2 hours to see like. Look at these levels now. I mean, you have this level, and each absorption leads to the next one. And usually you will see something like a stop loss hunt because people are shorting there with the delta. And then when they get absorbed, they're going to start, you know, market buying cover. And usually they lead. They happened twice today. I don't know if you guys remember the 70, was it the 78 level on NQ or something like that? When I mentioned if we get over 50, most likely we hit that, and 97.75. I don't know if I'm throwing out levels now, mixing between ES and NQ, but they did it a few times when they opened up the space and they took it quickly. I mean, it just happened within split seconds. And those are not bad scalp trades, right? If you get above and you see the delta is growing on a smaller time frame, 3 or 5 minutes, so you take that, right? But there's a lot of, I would say, negative delta at these levels. I mean, the notional value on some of these -5, -4, somebody's selling, right? And it'll be interesting to see what they do because NQ, on the other hand, let's go enable this. Wow. Holy crap. Let's hide this. This is a really, really big delta here on NQ. Wow. Do you guys see this bar here? 14.945. Man. I don't think I've ever seen a bigger bar on NQ. And somebody, yeah, I mean, there's a huge buyer there and he got eaten alive. So let's see what happens. I mean, this would be a decent spot for a short 14.9. I would expect a short at that level. Now they lose this, they're gonna spike probably down all the way to 854, so 10 points here. See how they ran the stops above this level here just now, completed auction. Trying to see if there's any imbalances. I don't see anyone have any imbalances with different settings. I see some 2 stacks right here. Could be also because I'm probably on 6, 7 here. Yeah, there's one right here sitting at 925. So I would probably commit some 5 minutes. Let's see what it does on. Yeah, not much on 30 minutes. I don't see a lot. There's some here. That's a big delta. This is gonna be a huge level of rejection here. Okay. Okay. Any questions so far? So this is where I expected us to reject earlier when I said I do expect a pullback. I would expect us to lose this soon. But if we reclaim this SIG here, if we go above it, you know, they just cleared liquidity here for a few of you. If they do make this higher high here and they hold a 2 SIG, be careful shorting. Hopefully everybody heard me and that you guys are getting the message. I'm just giving you heads up.
For a longer level, for longer time frame, I'm guessing clearing 1 sig would be better.
Oh yeah, of course. This is just a warning. Hey, we reclaimed this. Don't short it, because even if you do this now, POC is gonna be. Let me make sure I don't extend it. POC is on the bottom even when you select this from 1 o'clock. We're still here, and we are above that sell-off POC right now. So let me do 68. Let me just apply default. I can't see that. And you see this node here. I mean, sticking out. It's almost like as if POC should be there, right? If I go all the way to the bottom, I'm pretty sure POC is right where we rejected right now. Because I grabbed this reaccumulation here. So this is an important level here. If they're able to crack it, they can test this 43.83 level 10 points higher. But these are not a lot of volumes, even though it looks like it. These are not a lot of volume sell-offs here. And you guys see where the POC is? I mean, just look at the volume. What is this one here? This one's here grabbing. Oh, it shifted. CK it actually shifted.
Yeah, it's 44.20.
Okay, well, yeah, I
Above
mean,
this, it's 80 points. Straightways 80 points above 44.20.
this is 3-month POC. So we know this is your, I mean, I would say this is your signal for bearish bullish. We know that they show up. Let me make sure I'm on 3 sig here. The 3 sig is at 43.50, let's call it 56. And then the 2 sig is, I think we identified it at right here where it's at right now. So reclaiming that, now reclaiming this level, man, they can really spike it. I know it's, hey, we had a really bad sell-off, but just be careful shorting if we do reclaim it. Right? You can still take your normal hits, right? I would probably try to short the 87 area where we had a lot of volume and a lot of sellers. But if it doesn't work, right? If you see them aggressively buying it up, then just close your shorts and we're gonna look for potential longs. But if they reclaim the 2 sig, I wouldn't mind getting some. I don't even know where SPY is. Is it below 430? Okay, it's not. Okay, well, we need SPY to go below 430 now. And if you guys recall, what was the level for a sell-off? Do you guys remember for a SPY? You guys remember 445 at all? Nobody? We have to work on memory for some of you guys. 445 was the level. If you lose that, they lost this obviously 36 here. Now they're coming up to this area, 29, 427. So they're coming up to a support, right? They can dip 4 points. And you see, even on this shelf here that's smaller than this one, they had nice bounce here. They reclaimed it, they went higher. So they potentially bounce here, revisit 435. So grabbing, maybe even 2 weeks from now, like 438s, 440s, because they fill the gap and then dump. Not a bad idea, but let's see if they reclaim the 2 sig on ES. Okay. All right, well, I'll be live tomorrow, so we can hopefully make some money, and then I will see you then. Any questions from anyone? And 10 yields, wow, they just popped.
Shorty, when you do the CPOC, is it for a month?
So that CPOC that I had was 3 months. That was
Okay,
a
'cause
3-month
that's the
CPOC.
balance.
That's the balance that we're in right now, correct? Yeah. So if you change this to CPOC, I'm sorry, monthly, and you see 1, 2, 3, I would say 3 plus, here. Yeah. So June, July, August, September, and September is almost done. So we're in a 4-month balance, 43.50 being the low of that balance in terms of structures, right?
Okay, thank you.
Watch for 2.6,
what did
right?
that POC move to? The
44.20,
CPOC? 44.20. Okay.
44.20. Big level. You guys should imprint that and 41.40. Losing 43.50. If we lose it this week, then we close below it. Next week, we hit 42.26 or 42.22. We crack that, we hit 41.40 the same week that's lost. If you lose 42.20 next week, you're going to hit 41.40 that week. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, have a good day. I will see you tomorrow.
Thank
Bye.
you, Shorty.
All right. Bye-bye.
you.